NASCAR just made a last-second move that could completely change how Talladega races look. And if you've been frustrated watching drivers coast instead of compete, this is the shakeup you've been waiting for. But here's the real question. Did they just fix superspeedway racing or create a whole new problem? The Jack Links 500 at Talladega on April 26, 2026 just got a major format overhaul. Instead of the usual stage setup, NASCAR flipped it. Stage 1, now 98 laps. Stage 2, 45 laps. Stage 2, 45 laps. Stage 3, 45 laps. Previously, it was 2 short stages and 1 long finish. Now, it's the complete opposite. Race starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's the 10th race of the Cup season, and Cindric comes in as the defending spring winner. Let's be real, superspeedway racing hasn't felt the same lately. Ever since the next-gen car debuted in 2022, drivers haven't been pushing flat out. Instead, they've been managing fuel, lifting off the throttle, riding in packs, waiting. Even at the Daytona 500, the biggest race of the year, we saw long stretches of what looked like controlled pacing instead of aggressive racing. Fans noticed loudly, and NASCAR finally responded. Rather than changing the cars mid-season, which could create chaos, they went after race format instead. The goal, eliminate the need to save fuel late in the race. Because if drivers don't have to worry about mileage, they can go all out. This is where things get really interesting. By shortening the final 2 stages to 45 laps each, NASCAR is essentially removing fuel strategy from the end of the race. Teams should be able to make it without pitting. That changes everything. Now, instead of calculating fuel windows, drivers can focus on position, drafting, and timing their moves. That's classic Talladega racing: aggressive, unpredictable, and fast. But here's the twist. That 98-lap first stage is now a strategic minefield. Teams are going to be split. Some will try to stretch fuel with 1 stop, others will go aggressive with 2 stops. And at a track like Talladega, where the draft controls everything, one group's decision can drag the entire field into chaos. If aggressive teams push the pace, conservative teams might get forced into extra stops anyway. That's where this becomes less about fuel and more about control. So yes, NASCAR may have removed fuel saving from the finish, but they just injected a whole new layer of strategy into the beginning, and here's the risk. If teams still find a way to game the system, if they figure out how to save fuel even in shorter stages, we could be right back where we started, because in NASCAR, teams will always chase the smallest advantage. Fans are going to love the intent. For years, the biggest complaint has been simple. We want racing, not cruising. And this is NASCAR saying, we hear you. Some analysts will call it a smart, low-risk adjustment, changing the format instead of the car. Others will question whether this is just a temporary fix, a band-aid on a deeper issue with the next-gen package. Because if the cars themselves encourage fuel saving, format tweaks can only go so far. The final stage is turned into absolute chaos in the best way. No saving, no hesitation, just full throttle drafting, aggressive moves, and a classic Talladega finish. If that happens, expect this format to spread to Daytona and even playoff races. Or teams adapt instantly. They still find ways to conserve fuel, and the long first stage becomes slow and stretched out. The ending improves slightly, but not enough to change the overall feel. And NASCAR is forced to go back to the drawing board in 2027 with major car changes. So now it comes down to this. Did NASCAR finally crack the code on superspeedway racing, or are teams just going to outsmart the system again? Let me know what you think. Is this the fix fans have been asking for, or just another experiment? And if you want real breakdowns like this every week, hit subscribe. This season's just getting started.